Hello, my name is Richard E. Campa, and my speech today is about Pope Francis, a very admirable man. There are those among us who transcend the boundaries of politics and religion to become a benign influence on the whole world as a whole. The current Pope, Pope Francis, has become one such person. He often fights the bigotry in his own church and truly cares about the well-being of the world as a whole. No matter a person's country or religion, he stands against unjust government, hateful religious doctrines, and corporate greed. Pope Francis is kind, educated, and willing to risk everything for his beliefs in a more unified world. To spread his belief of global community and of the bonds of family is his passionate mission. The Pope has preached that love is the primary truth and salvation of our world. He has said that no matter where it starts or who it is between, love should always be celebrated. He has also seen much of the pain and suffering in the world and has worked so that his church and the world itself is reorganized to combat it. Even though I myself am not Catholic, nor even Christian, I've come to admire this man greatly for his various acts of compassion and his valor in standing against the tides of politics and even some of the more conservative elements in his own church. Quoting a speech from the Pope that was recorded on the Vatican's government site that took place on June 3rd of this year. What do we have left if we yield to the extortion of Caesar and Mammon, to violence and to money, and renounce even family ties? A new civil ethic will arrive only when the leaders of public life reorganize the social bond, beginning with the perverse struggle that spirals between the family and poverty, which leads us into the abyss. He passionately cried out against the greed and oppression used by those in power that keeps those in poverty suffering. A particular offense to him is that the bonds of family are broken on purpose so that the people's loyalty is to greed or to nation instead of to love. He calls out to the leaders of the world to wake up and right their wrongs. As was just stated in the previous quote, the Pope believes his love is where the world's loyalty should lie. He has spoken out in opposition of even his own religious previous doctrines in defense of homosexuals and believes that homosexuals should be allowed civil unions. He has given testimony in defense of women's rights and against the misogyny of various cultures and religious doctrines. He once said that there is a path to cure the world's problems. The route is well marked forever. It is the route of love. To love as God loves forever. His belief in love and his own personal compassion has reshaped the Catholic Church and has had an effect upon the people of our world, no matter what your personal, religious, or political beliefs. From research done through various sites like littleThings.com and verified using fact-check sites, I can show you some examples of his actions, which in my opinion speak louder than anything he could say. Okay, well, at the end of every single speech he does, the Pope always makes sure to address current world events and issues. He has done this from the minute and personal to the grand and all-encompassing. He has gone in person to feed and counsel those in need, often stopping his motorcade to just go off and do it. In fact, when he was just Archbishop of Buenos Aires, he used to sneak out at night to do this. One woman who was raped wrote to the Pope for support, and he personally reached out to her and consoled her. He also has gone to speak to world governments like the U.S. Congress and the United Nations on climate change and against the world financial system. Those Those own actions may sometimes cause controversy. They are all done for the same reason: love. These things and their effects are all possible because of the Pope's personal courage. He has long been an advocate that the actions of a person make a person good, not their beliefs, and has even reached out to Muslims and atheists. Pope Francis's courage to spread the doctrine of love across the world, his belief in the virtue of compassion, knows no bounds. No matter your religion, your gender, or your sexuality, the Pope cares. His mission is to spread that caring and love so everybody can benefit. He has transcended all the structures of society that would normally limit him, even as Pope: religion, politics, and nationality. The Pope has become a symbol for that love that we can all admire. Though we may not all agree with him, we should all have the courage and compassion that is shown by Pope Francis's example. Through those traits, we may all make it a better world. Good night.